How's it going, Perrin? Still a Dorito. Doritos aren't bad. Really, gymnastics. So you're gonna be doing flips and stuff? I did gymnastics when I was a kid. It's pretty fun. Took a couple little karate classes or something. I don't know what netball is. What's going on here? I got you. Maybe I will check it out. How's it going, everybody? How you doing, Hara? Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's 3:17 a.m. here. How's it going, Jackie? I'm all right. Yeah, I got right now I got 4 bikes, but 4 bikes and a stationary bike.
Introducing the new shows experience on YouTube. A new way to watch the latest series.
What up, guys? What up, Snapshot?
We jump straight into it.
Don't understand any of that. Yeah, I'll do like 26 is pretty good. That's a good ride. It just kind of depends on what bike you're on. Yeah, if you ride that far, usually like if I go like 30, I ride fat tires, which is totally different, but it does depend on what kind of bike you ride. But I'll do like 28 or 30 and my legs cramp up bad. Do I like the British? What are you talking about? I competed in the UFC a long time ago. Well, your batteries must have been charged, bro. Doing all that time. Ugh. Yeah, I can't say either way. Like, I've never been to France. I've been to Scotland, but I haven't been to actually England, but I have been to Scotland. I haven't been to France or any place like that. I haven't been to Germany or I'm trying to think Spain. What's over there? Italy. I haven't been over there. But the furthest I ever made it was Scotland. Um, I think a lot of times the biking is like more like your body style or what kind of workout you want to do. I guess I don't really look at it like what's dying or what's good or what's not. I know I don't like e-bikes that much. I've been waiting for somebody to convince me that e-bikes are great. No, I don't train or anything. I just ride my bike and run. Yeah, you're gonna have to convince me of that. I'm not really sold on e-bikes. Yeah, the UFC, it's had its ups and downs of like the beginnings where guys could kind of just do it and get away with it, and then there was an era where people had to really know what they were doing, and there's now where it's just kind of like a show is a show. I don't even know who the fighters are anymore. Like there's not even popular names. There's nobody you really look forward to seeing, things like that. Yeah, I live in Iowa.
High achieving professionals over 40 struggle with AI for one reason. They use it like a toy.
So this is how I became the most dangerous person in the room.
No, I live in it's like a loft apartment, so it's like an old manufacturing building. How's it going, guys? Yeah, Nebraska's like 3 hours from me because I live on the far edge of the state. I live on the east side of the state, but I'd have to drive all the way across Iowa to get back to Nebraska. So it's like 3.5 hours to get to Nebraska. Hello. I'm good. I'm just hanging out here. I appreciate you guys subscribing. Thank you. I have 3 fat tires and 1 full suspension. I can't really recommend anything cheap, but I can say definitely one of the best ways to get into a good bike is by buying like an older, like a used bike from somebody. Like you can get a $3,000 bike for half the price, after 2 years or so. So I'd probably look into buying a really nice used bike and then kind of see how it feels to you, depending on what you're looking to do. And it makes a big difference if you want to like ride trails, jump, ride the bike path, what kind of trails and what goes on around you, like, you might want a gravel bike as opposed to like a road bike. Those are 2 different bikes. I'm doing all right. I'm just kind of hanging out here for a minute. Yeah, it's looking that way. Well, another thing is you'll probably grow into the bike. So like I said, I enjoy fat tires. A rigid mountain bike will really cause you some trouble if you don't have like any kind of suspension. Like that's why a lot of mountain bikes have like front forks. That's to absorb like any kind of shock to the front of the bike. But I would look for a decent full suspension bike. That's what I would look for. But again, it's a full suspension is probably not going to be cheap. Yeah, what's that? Isn't Ozark Trail isn't that like a Walmart brand? Yeah. I'd probably break that bike. I'd probably break that pretty easy. And God loves you, brother. I don't really have any major plans. I really don't go out that much or do anything like that. Yeah, I mean, those types of bikes are probably a good deal up front, but to be very honest, I'd probably break that bike. I'd probably break that bike in one trip out. Finland. Finland's a great place. Yeah, it's pretty cold here in Iowa, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know how diabetes works or anything like that, but riding trails can really help you get a good workout, that's for sure. The time here is 3:36 a.m. Yeah, I like some of those like the big wheel, they call them like big wheel BMX bikes. Those things are pretty cool, but I've never ridden one to be honest. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the electric bike unless there's a purpose for it. I'm not really like a fan of it. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, if it's a bike that just gets you around town, it is what it is. Yeah. Same with like electric scooters. If they just get you around, that's fine. How's it going, Mike? I see you. Yeah, I don't really do moderation. Sorry. Yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to think of where I would actually enjoy having a electric bike, but I will say this. I was looking at some electric, they have like an off-road skateboard. It's kind of like an off-road long skateboard, and I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that, I haven't thought much about it. I really hope MySpace makes a comeback. Yeah, a lot of these people, I put up with it maybe for like the first couple minutes, but do what you got to do, Perrin. You're the designated greeter. So yeah, we do have ice here in Iowa, but they're not really showing themselves. Not like some of the big cities. Not like what you've seen on TV. I think I think a lot of people they're kind of wearing a mask to. They're kind of putting a veil up to the idea that like they think ice isn't here or something, but they're here for sure. Yeah. So yeah, those all those bikes, all those bike brands are really good. I've had Gary Fisher, I've had Specialized, Cannondale, I've had them all. GT. These behind me are called Salsa. Rocky mountain bikes, different types of mountain bikes. I had a Schwinn cross bike that was really nice. Yeah, it's 3:40 here, and I got some good sleep, so I'll probably get out of here and get some exercise soon. Oh, it's only 16 degrees today. 16 degrees, may snow today. Yeah, it's nice and cold. I live in Davenport, Iowa. Yeah, I just checked the weather. It's 16 degrees here. I might not go outside. I might just use my stationary bike. Ugh. I have to admit that over the years, I will say that I feel, and I'm not really one to pull like racism cards and things like that, but I feel like racism is in the air. It's like when I go places and I'm doing certain things, I haven't felt as much racism as I'm feeling right now. Like when I'm out in public and things like that. Yeah, well, you don't have to accept it. That's my opinion. Yeah, I feel like over maybe the past 15 years, it's like an escalating thing. I feel like we were kind of relaxed maybe about 15 years ago or so. I felt like there wasn't as much heat on me as there is now. Like when I go places and I'm doing things, I'm very cautious. It even surprises me that like some of the people that I know or people that already know me, like they're very quick to judge. and that surprises me. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, like, I don't mind other opinions. I just don't want to. I don't encourage hate or anything like that. But I don't mind other people sharing their opinions. Yeah, I've been having a lot of like political talks lately, and I'm not really a political person, but I've been having like exploring these political incidents and things. It's pretty wild. The only thing I haven't been talking about is religion, because I kind of wonder when the religious stuff's gonna go down, because that's the next thing on the agenda. Yeah, religion. I mean, we're under fire right now. Yeah, I don't think ICE is gonna slow down at all. So, in a nutshell, I'm going to say this because I'm just going to go for it. Um, Politically, I think America is on fire right now. We've been we're more separated than ever now because of politics, from state to state and all these different lawmakers and whatever else. Um, ICE is not helping the situation by being as aggressive, but I think to add with the ICE thing, I think police officers are more aggressive than ever. Um, as far as the race thing goes, I think we're dealing with more racism than we've been dealing with in a long time. From like certain institutions, like getting into schools, getting jobs, everywhere we go, we're being judged harshly in every situation. Like you have to be absolutely perfect if you are of so-called minority status. So I'm gonna throw in the religious thing for you. Right now, there's the Muslim movement's coming, and it's really big in New York. Clearly, because they got I think they had a new mayor, and I believe the mayor is Muslim. But there's a big Muslim movement in Texas, but across the U.S., the Muslim faith is becoming a problem for America, and we're gonna be dealing with all those things: politics, racism, and religion. Well, the thing that's bad about the religious part is if you look at Europe, even Canada, parts of Canada, um, it's a big deal. It's a real big deal. Right. So this was a thing that came up was basically there are some states I guess in the South that are trying to bring back some of the Jim Crow laws and some of the segregation. Um, I think that the DEI hiring, I kind of think you hire the best people for the job, but at the same time, we know that's not what's happening, especially with the inclusion part, because we know where inclusion got all of us. And I mean, I'm just saying some pretty racy things here, but it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us are going to share a lot of common opinions. It's the fact that people will go harder against the smaller things that they disagree about. Like they'll cause a big fight over one thing they disagree about rather than talk about the 90% of the things they do agree about. So I try to usually talk about the things that I have most in common with people. But I think for most companies, the diversity, the equity, and that hasn't been a big deal, but the inclusion part has been an issue. And again, I don't mind people's opinions. I'm not very sensitive, so clearly I talk about all this stuff. I'm not very sensitive. Burrito Dorito, I see that you're still alive. Right, so I agree there. Like race shouldn't be an issue, but we know from history it is. Not only is race an issue with hiring, it's been an issue with housing. So like if I go to get an apartment or if I go to get a house, rather than if it was a different person, we've known that's been an issue. Even when it comes to the sale of property or sale of homes, a lot of these real estate companies are trying to shortchange somebody like me as opposed to people that are not like me. I am a Christian and I believe in Jesus Christ. Yes. Tribulation. Tribulation is coming, boy. Tribulation is here, guys. Like it is here. I'll tell you that right now. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll do on my channel. Like every day I'll just talk about politics, racism, and religion. Like every day. See what happens. Yeah, I think I can't play anything with copyright, no copyright music. I would like to play whatever I want, but it seems like every time I play a mainstream song, it mutes my entire live session. Well, well, well. What do we have here? I know you already subscribed to me. What I'm saying is if I play any mainstream music that has copyright, it mutes the entire live. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for you subscribing. You know, with most things, I try to be very objective. I try to weigh it out. I try to talk about it, think about it, and you know, you can change my mind, and I don't mind other people's opinions. I'm not very sensitive. I mean, I just don't like. I think sometimes people they get very contradictive with their ideas, depending on what narrative they're trying to push. And I'm not really trying to push a narrative. I would just like to see things be better for everyone, you know. No, I'm not eating right now. I had a little bit of yogurt here a little while ago. All right, Mike, see ya. Yeah, so like when I say being objective is I'm trying to think of a topic that I was kind of changed on. Well, anyways, I like to be more objective about things. I like to try to, and you know, and sometimes there are opinions out there that people might have like politically, or it could be racism, politics, or religion, whatever. But for some countries, certain things may work better because of their religion, or some politics might work better because of the race of people. So what I'm saying is like you can never like apply one thing to everyone. That's just not usually how it works. And I think that's why people get in so many disagreements. Yeah, that is my emoji. Yeah, so like when we go to other countries, I don't think it's right for us to apply all of our American values on, say, China, because they're just that's a whole other different culture. They're a different religion, they're a different culture, they've got all kinds of different beliefs that are different than us. So yeah, they might have a different political system. It's just, to me, that's just logical, but I don't know, man. These are all my bikes, bought and paid for. Right. So I think the most, I think the most useful thing to do would be to share ideas, you know, different countries, different people, different whatever, share ideas and use the best ideas to make our societies better. But people just don't view it that way. I do. I need to use the gym right now. I need a membership, please. If you get me the membership, I will start doing lives from the gym. That's where I'll be. So, case in point, like, I think that when I go out for food, I love Chinese food. I love Mexican food, right? I love Italian food. There's some great barbecue places and steak houses and sushi places, right? Japanese type sushi places. So we can go and enjoy all these things from other cultures every day. But for some reason, when it comes to money, we just can't agree unless it's something small like food. We can agree to have Italy represented, Japan represented, Mexico represented, different cultures represented in our food, but we can't do that with other things. To me, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a day when I'm judged. Yeah, so there are some things I think that everybody could agree on. That's what I mean. Is like there are things of like common ground, things that will help other countries and will help our country, and so on and so forth. It's just people don't focus on those things. They focus on the most minor negative things, and not to mention, all the politicians are just stealing everything they can get their hands on. I mean, all these politicians are mega rich, right? Like, it just, some of this stuff doesn't make sense. Can I play what? Yeah, man, I feel like we're cooked. I keep thinking, like, especially the US. The US is on fire. The middle class is just crushed. The middle class is being absolutely smashed. Burrito Dorito. So yeah, guys, again, these are just my opinions. I don't mind having these conversations. I try to keep things civil. And honestly, like right now, I'm just sharing my open opinion. I'm not really holding anything back. Yeah, I think that man, I think we got worked over in the last, I don't know, 15 years or so. We really got smashed. Yeah, I honestly I don't know about this economy thing. Like dude, a bag of chips is like $8. Like the things are so expensive right now. Yeah, the cat ain't letting you in, bro. As far as the Civil War idea goes, I've been waiting because I know a lot of people like this. I've been waiting for somebody to say, "Hey, man, we're not doing this anymore," and stand up. But to be very honest, I kind of look at I don't know how to say this. Yeah, dude. Food is so expensive. But I kind of look at some of these guys who are like, they talk like they're these big American boys and they're gonna do anything for the flag kind of thing. They're woofing big, dude. They're barking real big and they're not gonna do anything. I think they're afraid. Bro, do you remember now and laters were 10 cents a pack? 10 cents a pack. I felt rich when I went to buy some now and laters. Yeah, so all these guys who, oh, don't tread on me. They got this country, kind of this country lifestyle, come and get my guns kind of attitude. Those guys aren't doing anything. They're barking so loud and they're not going to do anything. Dude, when I was a little kid, now and laters were 10 cents a pack, bro. You could run out of there rich. Like with $1, you'd feel rich. So, this is what I've been telling everybody. Vote for me in 2028. We're going to fix everything. Just vote for me in 2028, bro. What's up, Jay? I see you. $2028, Drew McFedries. We'll take care of all of this stuff. We'll get everything leveled out. You know, I think this is a very important, and I'm kind of going off on this. I don't really care. I'm just gonna tell it how it is. But you know, when I was a kid, every day in class we said the Pledge of Allegiance, right? They don't do that anymore. God was in the schools. God was implemented in our society. So like, when you went to class, usually in every class there was a cross. Usually in every class. Usually in my classes there was a cross and a Bible in a lot of my classes. I don't think that was a bad thing. Everybody on my YouTube live will be part of my campaign. Right, so we have really lost that, especially with the younger kids, like the younger people. A lot of these kids, they don't know what God is. And I mean, and to me, it doesn't matter what religion you are. I'm just saying that for me, it was usually a cross in each class, a cross in a Bible, or a cross in each class. And we said the Pledge of Allegiance every day. And these kids don't understand that. They don't know that. Right. So like the structure of school has just changed, you know, and it depends on what schools you go to as well. So I think that's another important thing. I talk about this all the time. Like I got involved with some coaching, and I think you should pay your coaches more. I think you should pay your teachers more, because especially at the youth age, like middle school and younger, because these are the people that are influencing your kids forever. But again, these are just my opinions. It might not mean anything to anybody. Yeah, so that was another experience I had was like one of the last classes I took, which was like, it's been a while, but maybe 4 years ago or so. I took a class at my local college here and I was taking notes. And this girl looked over at me and she was like 20 or something, 19 or 20. She's like, "What are you doing?" Like, because I was writing my whole page. She thought I was just scribbling, but she couldn't read my cursive. Like I said, I think that I am I do believe in making decisions. I have to say that there comes a time when like there's nothing to talk about. Like once everything's out there and you kind of know what's going on, I think you got to make decisions. And I'm ready to make decisions. I think I'm at that age too where I've lived a good life and whatever happens, happens. We gotta make some decisions here and get it done. Yeah, when I was a kid, we said the Pledge of Allegiance every single day in school. Um, this came up with like in a conversation with a friend of mine as well. I don't know about the female president thing, but if I can say this, I think gender is just as much a struggle as racism. Um, I think we have a lot of women that could do with the job and whatever job that is, and they're simply not getting the jobs because they're women. And then again, I think gender is pretty equal to racism. There's no filters here.
Listen, we're connecting and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets manually anymore. That works? Oh, like you wouldn't believe it. My team puts in their availability, I click auto.
So everybody vote Drew McFedries 2028. Yeah, I was in the UFC a long time ago. So way back when. Probably 15 years ago. My Bugatti's in the shop right now. Okay, but I think my thing is about this whole gender, this idea of gender, is just the fact that there probably is somebody out there somewhere that can do some of these jobs. And it doesn't matter. There's some of these jobs, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It matters if you can really do your job. But again, I make that equal to racism. Okay, once again, I'm not implying that women are stronger than men. I'm not implying that. And I'm not implying that we should just give jobs to people because we want to make it even. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there are men and there are women that can do some jobs equally. They should have an equal shot at it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not involved in MMA. Like teaching, yes. Yes, there are jobs that exist that both men and women could do equally. But yes, there are other jobs that are probably more physical or more demanding in one area or another. I mean, to be very honest, the one I always use is cops and nurses. Like, if there was a serious problem and you needed somebody to solve that problem, and there was some sort of physical force involved, you would probably want a man to show up to help you. But if you're the police officer who gets hurt and sent to the hospital, you more than likely will get a female nurse who will help you. What I'm saying is, I do kind of believe in gender roles, but those gender roles, they kind of imply certain things, like, yes, we all know that men, the way we're built, we are more physical than we are made for anything else. But we need women to fulfill these other roles because of our physicality. Like, that's nature. I'm actually going to start an OnlyFans. Right. So, like these jobs, I don't mind giving equal opportunity to women or men for any job. It's just we all know that there are some jobs that are just more physically demanding, and they're usually built more for men. But there are more jobs that are built probably more for women because there's more opportunity there for them.
Imagine being able to
Right. All I'm saying is that
meet base 44.
I do believe that opportunity should be given to everyone, but the standard should be set on the best, whatever, the best employee, the best worker, the best whoever's. That's where the standard should be set. And we shouldn't be lowering our standards for somebody to be able to get into that position. And it doesn't matter if it's gender or race or whatever, I'll even go as far as this. I've even met a lot of like police officers that are really heavy. I don't think they should be able to be cops and be like certain amounts overweight. I don't believe in that. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that's a big deal too. Like, in any job, when it sucks that everybody kind of gets paid the same, and it takes the best workers and makes the best workers mediocre workers. When everybody, there's no reward for the best worker to do better. Right. So that's kind of what I was saying was, I think there should be like a height and weight difference. We should want the people that are protecting our societies to be physically built a certain way or be capable of doing certain tasks and certain things. I mean, you look at a lot of these firemen, there's not a lot of fire women. And that's because they do these strength tests and things like that. And it's kind of sad to say a lot of the military, police, and so forth, they have lowered a lot of their standards on what they believe to be a police officer or a military person or whatever the deal is. Yeah, man, these companies they'll lowball you for sure. Right, so I think there should be certain standards, but we know that due to what they've been doing in these schools, they had to lower their standards for military. They had to lower their standards for police officers and firemen, and I'm trying to think of any other jobs that I know of offhand. Hello to everybody in Canada. I am not in the military. He said fireman is not even a job anymore. All right. I would love to be in the movies. That'd be great. Well, if you guys are new, please subscribe. I'm going to cut this live off. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do for a workout. Yeah, I really don't know what to say about jobs. I think that you got to find a job that suits you. I think that's the best way to handle that. But yeah, if you guys are new, please subscribe. I'm going to shut this down. I get on with my business here. I kind of went in tonight on some of these topics, but it is what it is. Yeah, I might, because it is cold out, I might just go downstairs and do the elliptical because it's cold. I might come back on after a little while here. I usually ride the elliptical and I turn my live on, but we'll see here in a bit. All right, guys. See you later.